Oh, see, Craig's here.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Practice Gratitude Success Show today. And like I always do, I have an amazing guest today. And I want to say good morning to everybody over here that popped in. And I know people are popping in as we speak here. So good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Craig, Len, Marie. Thank you for coming here. There's a few other people that I haven't even met here yet, but thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you for coming in here today. I have a great guest today, and the person that is the guest today. She's the author of this book that I was supposed to get to today, but thankfully it came early. It came yesterday. And this is not my sister. She's not even my cousin, but she has the same last name, Teri Miller. Now let me say a little bit about Teri. Last week I had a guest on here called Paul Santisi. And if you remember Paul is a guy that does all the meditations, all these different 3D things. He's just a super cool guy. And Teri was a friend of his, so we connected that way. And Teri she's an angel speaker. I'll let her tell exactly what she does, but she actually did an angel healing for a friend of mine. And this person said it was just amazing. And she gave one to me just Saturday. Now, I talked about a little bit on my gratitude videos, and I didn't quite know what to expect. I was like, okay, I'm going to go in with an open mind. I'm not going to be skeptical, and I'm not going to pretend something wonderful is happening to me either. So this is what happened. I lay down on my bed, and it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I think I fell asleep for like a couple seconds. I just got like really relaxed, and then all of a sudden I felt like my head was being massaged. It's like somebody was actually really massaging my head. And I woke up and I go, whoa, this must be it. This must be it. And then I felt this I felt like my heart being massaged, and I felt this warmness throughout my whole body. And then it went on and on and on. And I'm not going to get into the whole thing. We can maybe talk about that during the show. But the person who was responsible for that and who sent the video of the whole proceedings is right here, right now. Teri Miller. Teri, welcome. Thank you so much for coming here today. I'm so excited about today. Welcome.
Me too, and thank you so much. It's good to be here.
It's awesome. Yeah, it was so cool what you sent me the video of what you did, and then I could see when you were explaining and you were talking in the video you sent to me, and I could see exactly what was going on, and it was just like, wow, that's pretty cool. So it was like it was real. It was like totally a real thing.
Right. I send that video to everyone that I do a healing for. And they don't see me while I'm actually doing the healing session. Just like, as you know, you just sit there and receive. And then after they review the video, they always get back to me with their confirmations. You know, yes, I saw that. Yes, I felt that. Mm-hmm. And there's always messages. And so they tell me what the messages meant to them. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool process, huh?
That is real. It's super cool. It's super awesome. So now with this book here that you wrote, I haven't had a chance to read much of it. When did you write this, Teri?
Now that book I wrote in December. That is not the book that explains the angel healing, though. The Time Heals.
Okay.
There is a book called Time Heals, and I'll hold that up.
Okay.
And that's also available on Amazon. And it tells the story of how this came to be and explains a lot of information about angels, about spirit guides, and then the actual Time Heals process. It goes into all of that in the book. And I'll go ahead and plug now that there will be a special price for the Kindle version. There will be a countdown starting Friday. So if anybody wants to jump in on Friday and grab this, the price will be lower. And you can read all about all this wonderful stuff that we're discussing right now.
Right. Now, how long have you felt like you've had this, because I haven't had a chance to read your whole story yet. How long have you had a chance, how long have you been feeling like you've had a connection with our higher source?
My whole life. My whole life. Ever since I can ever remember having memories, I've known that there was a higher power that was dealing with me and helping me all along the way. Angels have intervened in my life many times. I've had so many near-death experiences and traumatic events, and I always knew that there was a presence there with me. I felt it. I could hear it. More lately have I heard it audibly, but it would be like that still voice inside of me that I would hear, and the words would be clear. So yeah, my whole life pretty much I've known that I was guided I just didn't know I was guided toward what until the last few years.
Right. Now, do we all have a guardian angel? All of us?
Yes, we do. You know, in my book, in Time Heals, I talk about the oneness. We are all part of oneness. We all are spirit. We are spiritual beings having this human experience.
Right.
And because of that, that's how we can connect with each other energetically. That's how I can connect with you across the country, and you can actually feel what I'm doing.
Yeah, that was
while I'm sending you that healing energy.
That was pretty amazing. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That. To me, the ultimate. I mean, the ultimate. You know, he called everything. He called the source. He called the universe, the Tao. They called different things. I mean, to me, the name I give it. I call it God. I mean, it's God. What is that to you? What is that spirit, that source?
It's God. It's I'm part Native American, so Great Spirit is something that I say a lot and use a lot. It's all the same. It's the creator, the power that brought us all to be. And we're part of that. We are part of that oneness, of that same power. That's God. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what you call God, creator, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. The concept is there.
Right, because different. I mean, obviously, you know, if you're over in India or something like that, you're not calling them the same thing that people over here would be calling God. Everybody has different, but we all have this deep spiritual connection of
Right.
oneness that you talk about, for sure.
Exactly. And yeah, I use an analogy. I don't know if I put it in Time Heals or not, but we look at our hand, and that's our body. But that's not our whole body. You know, we have parts. We have the hand, we have the feet, the legs, the head. That's all part of us, but it's not us. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but it's the same thing with spirit. You know, you're part of spirit, I'm part of spirit. We're all part of this oneness. You're Bob, I'm Teri. See what I'm saying? We consider ourselves individual, but yet we're like a hand or a foot. You know, we're all part of that great oneness.
Right.
And once people can grasp that concept of being part of the oneness, it's a lot easier to connect spiritually and energetically with other people.
Wayne Dyer always talked about that. You know, so you could chop up in little pieces and put them all. That's not us. Like you mentioned the hand, the foot. You know, those aren't us. We are separate of that. We are a spirit, and it's pretty cool that and the same thing like with vibrations. You know, would say we're all energy. We're all energy, and you know, when you vibrate a certain energy, and you can tell when you're around somebody. You can tell somebody. You can tell if somebody is feeling good because they vibrate that energy that's out there. They vibrate that certain energy, and you can also tell if somebody's feeling bad. It's an energetic thing. How can you explain all that?
It's true. We do vibrate at different levels, and it's just, it goes back to ego. You know, once we let go of ego, our spirit, our vibration just soars. It takes us right up to fifth dimension, which is where, you know, we don't worry about ego anymore. We don't worry about the mundane things of life. We're more concerned about who we are spiritually and living that spiritual existence. And I can connect with somebody remotely and tell how their spirit is. If they're, you know, if they're coming from a lower vibration, they've been letting things get to them, breaking through that barrier, or if they're just like this calmness when I connect with them. And especially if you're in person, though, if you feel those vibes coming from other people.
Okay. Now, I actually had 9 years ago, I had a stroke. And I was pretty messed up. I was like totally paralyzed for like a long time. And I was in a rehab place, and this lady came in. She was a nurse, and she did this healing. It was like a meditation. It was she didn't put hands on me. She put hands over me. She went all through my body. She went all over my entire body. And for the first time during that whole time, and she played soft music, and I just lay there, and she didn't touch me at all, just an energy thing. And I totally felt it. I mean, I was like, oh my God, it felt so good. I didn't want her to stop. It felt so good. So is that the same kind of energy that we're talking about?
Yeah, it's all energy. Yeah, it's all energy healing. There are different ones. I actually became aware of Reiki energy healing like 20 something years ago, but it wasn't something that really resonated that much with me as something that I was supposed to do. I mean, I really listen to spirit. I've done a lot of meditation and gone inside to see what spirit wants me to do. I ask, I be still, I listen. And I am attuned to Reiki, but it wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? You just know. I just knew it wasn't it.
What is Reiki? What exactly is Reiki?
It's an energy healing. They use symbols and there's attunements that go along with that as well. And it's just an energy healing. There's, it's the same energy that we put out as far as we're spirit. And so we're sending that spiritual energy. The difference that I find in trying to work with somebody with Reiki and working with what I do with Time Heals, I can feel that power when I call in the archangels, when I call in my spirit guides that are called the healers. I can feel them right there with me. And when that energy goes through my hands to heal that person, I feel that being drawn from my hands. It's like I'm just the vessel. I'm just here just to let that spirit go through me to heal that person. But that's the difference that I've found. With Reiki, I didn't have that connection that I have so strongly with Time Heals.
So is yours is it mostly from God, from the angels? Like where are you getting it from?
Yes, absolutely. When I was inspired with this, Bob, I had a spirit guide that I knew I had one spirit guide. I knew there were more, but I had one particular one that I met with. Excuse me. I would meet with him like every day in meditation, and we would work on me religiously, just constantly clearing out what I call the crud, all this stuff that's built up inside. And then there was one day that the spirit guide said, okay, we're going to give you this and we want you to take it to the world, pretty much. It's like, it was just huge. And I was outside in nature. I had nothing to write it down with. I'm arguing with my spirit guide. I'm like, what? How am I supposed to remember all of this? Because it was huge. And he's like, oh, calm down. So as soon as I got inside and got to my computer, I'm like, okay. And then absolutely, it just all flowed. It all came out. They tell me exactly what to do. There's, as you know, requirements for the person receiving the healing because it's an interactive healing. And so all of this flowed. It just all came together. And I'm going, wow. I just sat back after I typed it out and was just like drained. I'm like, wow, this is just amazing.
So does it drain you when you do it? Do you feel a drain on your own body?
No, I get energized, actually. Yeah,
okay.
Because it's not, yes, it's coming through my body, but it's spirit that's doing the actual work. They're the ones that's sending that healing through me. And just the power of that and feeling that energizes me. So yeah, I don't get drained at all.
Did you ever hear of John of God?
Oh yes, absolutely.
The first time I heard of him, Wayne Dyer spoke about him because he actually did an operation on him, and John of God is living in Brazil, and Wayne Dyer is over in Hawaii.
Right.
So was proposed to him that he meet with this guy and listening to Wayne Dyer speak about it, he was, and he's very, very tuned to, he has always been very attuned to everything, very spiritual, always looking to improve his spiritual connection. But he was real skeptical of it. Of even of that, because he was like, that's a little, you're gonna operate on me, you're gonna remove leukemia from my body,
right,
from Brazil, and I'm here in Hawaii, come on. And that's what he was saying. He was like, come on. So he was skeptical. He was really, so he tells a story where he actually laid down and he just in a white robe or whatever, and then he came in and actually performed this remote surgery on him, and he said he was wiped out like for several days afterwards, like totally wiped out. And then after he got checked for everything, and there was no sign of leukemia. The leukemia was gone. So he became a believer in that whatever that was.
Yes, it is an energy healing. I actually have a really good friend that has seen John of God, and John of God told him that he would be a great healer, and indeed he is. I'm, in fact, helping him this weekend here locally with a workshop that he's doing. But yeah, absolutely, it's true. And there are skeptics, of course, and until you actually feel that energy and feel what can happen to you, it's just amazing.
How much of this could be like the placebo, or just into your people's own heads thinking something is happening? How much of that could that possibly be?
I'm sure that's possible, but I have done this healing on a lot of people, and they're all telling me the same thing. You know, I haven't had anybody that said, no, I didn't feel anything. They all feel when the energy strikes. Like you said, you actually feel like you're being massaged or you're being touched.
Right.
You know, in a certain part of your body, you see things, you see the colors. The chakras correspond with different colors. So when I'm working on a particular chakra, you know, usually the person I'm working on is seeing that color or, you know, feeling something in that area.
Now, if you shut yourself off to it, you say, okay, well, no matter what, I'm not going to believe this. Could you shut that off? I mean, if you're doing a healing on me and I say I'm not going to believe it no matter what, I can probably convince myself it wasn't going to work, right?
Absolutely. We all have free will. That's the thing. I can't do anything to you that you're not going to allow to be done.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the one thing God gave us all was free will.
Exactly.
Yep, we all have that. Yeah, I had a lady one time. She was a big name. So you probably know her name. I'm not going to mention her, but I was talking to her on the phone. And I was back by my pool, and she said she was sending me this energy now, and she kept saying it, and I was open for. I really was open to it. This is years ago. I was trying to heal from my being paralyzed, and I didn't feel anything at all. I mean, I'm sure she believed it, and I wanted to believe it, but I felt nothing. I felt like nothing. She kept, now do you feel it? Now do you feel it? No, I'm sorry. I'm being honest here. I just don't feel anything. But with you, it was different. And I did a video about this, and I said I really wanted to not be skeptical, and I didn't want to like be in a placebo. Yes, this is definitely gonna work. So I sat back, and I just relaxed. And then you said you were ready in about 5 minutes, and I was laid back, and I just and like I fell asleep like for a couple of seconds. And that's when I woke up, and I just felt this warm massage on my head. And then later on, when I watched the video, that's exactly what you were doing. You were like going through the aura of my head. So it was definitely an energy transfer, and I definitely felt it. And I've been feeling things ever since that time. So I'm a believer in it. I believe in the energy transfer, and I just know that it works anyways. I mean, it works just to the power of being grateful, gratitude.
Yes.
Just
exactly
that energy that you put out there. Now let's talk about gratitude. How big is gratitude in your life, Teri?
Oh my God, gratitude turned my life around, Bob. About 2 years ago, I think I came across The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote this book called The Magic, and every day you have an exercise to do in gratitude. And you make a list every morning of things you're grateful for. And that started my gratitude journey. And I still do it to this day religiously. Every morning after I get up and say, thank you, God, that I'm alive, I grab my gratitude journal and I write down what I'm grateful for that day. And I do this every day. It starts me off on the right foot, but that's what actually turned me around to really look at the positive in life, what there is to be grateful for. If you start writing down a list of what you're grateful for, you're going to find more stuff to be grateful for.
Right.
And that's when my life really took off and really exploded into finding more positive. You know, and at that same time, I was meditating every day. I was going to a channeler once a week that channeled the ascended masters and higher power. And they told me that I was going to be healing. And I scoffed at it. I'm like, yeah, right. Okay. You know, I knew nothing. I mean, sure, I knew Reiki, but I wasn't, like I said, really into that.
Right.
But now that mentor that did the channeling, she beams because she goes, yeah, we knew it all along. You know, where were you? Kind of.
So yeah, believe in himself, huh?
Yeah. So it all started, with all of that at the same time, pretty much. The gratitude, what I call the spiritual excavation, going inside and just digging out and getting rid of all the negative crud that's built up. And then just listening. Listening is the biggest thing you can do. You know, spirit talks to us. They want to talk to us. The angels talk to us constantly, but we have to be open and listen to it.
Right. Now, you overcame some major challenges over the past couple of years, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yeah, my whole life, as a matter of fact. I've gone through kidney failure where I almost died. That was one of the near-death experiences that I was telling you about. And I think that's when I really, really got in touch with my angels, and especially my guardian angel, because if it wasn't for the angel putting that little voice in my head to call the doctor, I would have died. I was already in advanced kidney failure and 6 months pregnant to boot. So yeah, that was huge for me. I've overcome cancer twice. So yeah, I've had a lot of hurdles, but I just take it day by day now. I'm grateful for every day that I have, every extra day, because I did have the kidney transplant after the kidney failure.
Oh, you actually had a kidney transplant. Wow.
40 years ago, I had a kidney transplant.
How many years ago?
40 years.
40 years ago.
40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so every day I live is a day that I wouldn't have had. It's a second chance at life. So every morning, that's when I do my gratitude. Thank you, God, that my eyes are open and I'm breathing.
When you go through something life-threatening, it changes your perspective like that, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, it does. And you can go either way with it. You can be hardened, like, why is this happening to me? And I went through that for just a moment of, why, God, why? But then the angels would calm me down and say, okay, if you're searching for whys, then go ahead and search, but don't turn that anger that a lot of people do about their disease or their incident of whatever happened to them. So it's all perspective. It's all how we look at it.
Absolutely, we can stay in that victimhood, or we can stay in the thriver mode.
Right.
Yeah, we had a guest the other day, Edie Weinstein. She talked about that being, she was a cancer or heart attack survivor, and she talked about that being a thriver as opposed to being a victim, or just like a survivor, but just take it to another level, because it's up to us to do that. It's up to us to get there. Now, do you have any processes that you can tell somebody how to stay away from negative things that might be going through their head? Because we become the little monkey mind where we get these little thoughts. We're conditioned to believe that we're not good enough and stuff. What can you share with people to help them to get through some of those thoughts? Maybe their whole life they're told that they were no good, or whatever.
Yeah, there's so many people out there suffering like that, Bob, and they go down into the depression, into the lower vibrations, like we were talking about. Find some positive and somebody that you can reach out to, that can hold your hand, and if you don't have anybody, then ask an angel. The angels are there. They're real. I know a lot of people scoff at angels. They are real. And just reaching out, just making that initial saying, I need help. I want help. I want to do better, think better, feel better. That's what it takes. It takes that initial saying and admitting, yes, I want to do better. I want to do better.
Or go right to the source, go right to God.
Well, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But a lot of people, poo-poo that. It's right. Like, God, no, not when I'm feeling this bad. When you're down in those throes of depression, that's the last thing you want to think about is a God that you think put you there.
Yeah,
well, if that makes sense.
No,
we want to blame somebody, so why not go to the top and blame him?
Yeah, right? If there was a God, we wouldn't have all the suffering. That's people like to go there. They say,
right.
you would get your guys up out of here, because of why would all these things be happening? But I find strength in God, because I just don't. He's not coming down picking wings off butterflies. He's not like, okay, I'm gonna pick on Teri, but I'm gonna do something good for Bob. God's not doing that to us.
No, not at all.
His love, the oneness, the omnipresence of God is there for all of us to tap into.
Yes, absolutely. It absolutely is. It's there. We can hear it. We can feel it. We can see it. I've seen, felt, and heard spirit my whole life. So for me, it's there. It's a part of life. And other people are like, wow, you you can talk to these angels or these spirits. And I'm like, well, yeah, can't everybody? You know? So that's been, you know, the way I've been my whole life.
So do you think that after we become attuned to that, to spirit, to the angels, to God or whatever, when we start practicing it, does it become, do we become more open to it? Then does it get better for us? Do we get more, what's the word? Is there a word for that? To a deeper connection, an easier, quicker connection? Is there a word for that?
Just connected. You know, I don't know what enlightened is a word that a lot of people use. Yeah, the more we feel that spirit, the more we're going to want to feel it, because it feels so great, as you know. You know, just that feeling, that happy, joyful bliss inside, and it has to come from inside. So many people look for happiness outside of themselves. You know, they want somebody to make them happy, or more money, or a better job, or, you know, a different car. That's not going to make you happy. The happiness has to come from inside. It has to start inside of you. Exactly. Like I always say, it's an inside job.
I'll be happy when I get that job, when I get to promote, when I find it first. You have to find it here first, and you know, it's there. We are all one, and it's there for us. We just need to grow ourselves and listen to that. Right. It's so cool. It's so awesome. Now tonight you actually have, I'm going to show the book again for anybody who hasn't seen. I just received this book here yesterday. Just one of the, how many books do you have all together?
I have 3. I have the 2 major ones, Time Heals and Hugs and Love, and then I have one that was just a fun book that I put together, just a funny. But yeah, these are my spiritual books. That one, and I'll hold up Time Heals. Okay. On my end. And these are available on Amazon.
And so there's other ways that people can get a hold of you. Tell us someone, and what I'm going to do, what this video will be available probably within like the hour after this show is over. I will get the replay, and then and it's going to be on YouTube. On my channel, I'll put in all your links for ways people get a hold of you. I'll put all the links to your book and all those kind of things in the description, and I'll also put it. I will leave it in a comment on the YouTube channel as well. So, but how can people get a hold of you just right now? How can you remember a way for them to connect with you?
You just froze up.
Oh, okay. How can people get a hold of you? How can people connect with you?
Okay, I have a website called angelspeakers.com. And from that website, you can actually contact me. There's a contact form that'll come right to an email to me. But if you want to just email me without going on the website, it's Teri@angelspeakers.com.
I'm going to type this in right now. Hopefully this shows up properly. Okay. It didn't have the link though. Maybe I did something wrong.
You don't have the www.
What I did, I put a, instead of a colon, I put a semicolon. So that's what happened. Right. Colon, not semicolon. Boom, boom. Angel Speakers, ANGEL.
While you're doing that, there's someone that's in the chat room. Roseanne is there, and Roseanne and I actually wrote this book together. So I wanted to say hello to her. Oh, there you go. She put up the link for you.
Yeah, but it didn't show up as a link though. Len said there's 4 of you on Facebook. Which one are you?
Which one am I?
One that looks like this lady right here.
Yeah, and if you go into the groups and look, Lynn, I think I connected with you on there as a friend on Facebook. But also there's an Angel Speakers group site.
Oh, but it still didn't show up as the link. I don't know why it's just not. It usually does. It must be something that I'm doing wrong.
Do you want me to type it, Bob?
Oh, it won't show up as a link. You can try it, and maybe it will because you're a panelist.
There we go. See, I worked my magic.
Okay, did it? Yeah. What did you did? Okay. What did you put the www afterwards?
Yeah, you have to put the www.
Yeah, I've been messing all. I messed it all up there. Okay. Okay. Well, that's okay. So that's how you get a hold of you. And I will put all the links in. You sent me all the links in the description, the video description, in just a few minutes, or like probably within the hour when it pops up here on Facebook. Cool. Okay, that's wonderful. So tonight you have a blog thing, or you have a blog talk radio going on this evening.
I do. Every Wednesday night I have a blog talk radio show called Mama T and Mama Tay Show, and we just sit around and talk about anything spiritual. Tonight we'll be talking about our life path and how we can connect and find out what our life path is.
Okay,
So,
I have a question here from Jackson. He said, how can you know an angel from whatever else? I don't know whatever else means. Well, I don't know what you mean by that, Jackson, but
it's a matter of connecting with them. Yes, I talk to a lot of spirits, and I talk to the angels. And in fact, with the angels, I've come to know which one I'm talking to. You know, there's a whole lot of them, but the major ones, the archangels, I know when I'm talking to them, which one I'm talking to. It's like when we do the time heals, they help. The archangels help. We call them in even before we begin. And I know which one is helping the person that I'm doing the healing for. You know, they come forward. I can feel their energy. I feel their essence. It's just like recognizing a person, a human person. I recognize the essence of them more so than anything when they come through.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I know Doreen Virtue. I'm sure you probably know a lot about Doreen Virtue. She's a real big angel person.
Right.
There's a lot. I've been meeting more and more people that are connected to angels. And it's now, what about bad angels, or what about things that might be from like the negative side, like the devil or something like that? How do you tie all that? How does that stuff real, or I mean, what's up with all with evil that's out there? Is that something that we can be aware of, or is it part of, and how is that? What do you know about that?
I do. That's why we use protection when we do energy work. Anybody that does spiritual work where you're opening yourself up to connecting with somebody else's spirit, you don't know who you're connecting to. So, you know, and they could be in touch with some of these, I don't like to call them bad, but the lower vibration energy that's out there. So what we do is protect ourselves. I use crystals, I use sage. I ask my spirit guides, and especially Archangel Mycle, to come in for protection. Mycle's the protector. Anytime that you need strength, you need protection, you know, you feel like you're just not able to do it by yourself, Archangel Mycle is the go-to guy. You know, just ask him, just call him. That's all you have to do. Archangel Mycle, be with me now. And he's there. He's there. That's the purpose of him being, is to be there to protect us. So yeah, there are the lower vibration energies. I don't deny it. Anybody that denies it is a fool, as far as I'm concerned, because it does happen. There are lower vibrations, and just being aware of it and being aware that it exists and what you can do to protect yourself. And thank you, Roseanne. She just said that we talk about protection in the book, and yes, we do. There's a whole chapter on how we can protect ourselves against these energies. And
that is that's the Time Heals book. It's in that one.
That's the Time Heals. Yes.
Okay, I'll order that one as well. So I'll read this one here first. But there's the book here that this is a book that's kind of the story of your life, right?
Right, and the lessons. It was like, it took like a 5-month journey of just daily blogging and journaling, and every one of those is a lesson for everybody, not just for me. It was a lesson that could apply to anybody that's doing a spiritual search.
And that's your butterfly right behind you there, huh?
Yes, that's my butterfly. And just to mention, on the Time Heals again, starting Friday on Amazon, you can go in and get the Kindle version of that at a reduced rate, and that's for 5 days.
Okay, wonderful. All right, is there anything else? Does anybody have any questions before we close out here, or do you have anything else that you want to add, Teri, before we?
Okay, Craig's asking my thoughts about mediums that speak with past spirits. Yes, I actually do that, Craig. I am a medium, and I have done that for many people as far as getting in touch with loved ones that have passed on and bringing back messages to them. So yeah, I totally believe in that.
And Can that be dangerous when you're doing something like that? Could you be connecting with some kind of a bad spirit there? I mean, how does that whole thing work?
Again, the protection, the intent of what I'm doing, because I ask permission. I don't just say, come and talk to me. I ask permission, and I have my spirit guides behind me, and I have the angels behind me when I do all of this.
It's like having a 3-prong going into the electricity. You get grounded, like Roseanne said. You get grounded, huh?
Exactly.
Put rubber boots on.
But yeah, you asked if there was anything in closing. I would just say to get in touch with yourself. Do that digging. Do that. You have to really dig deep to get all that crud out. So just go in and just rely on them to help you. I had my spirit guide with me the whole way. Every time I would go in and do a deep digging inside, and I'd be in tears, and they would just be holding my hand while I did all that. But get in touch with your spirit that's inside of you. And to do that, you might have to move some stuff out of the way. And don't be angry or depressed over things that have happened to you. I told you all the stuff I went through, near death and the cancers and all that. Everything that we go through in our past brings us to where we are now. It makes us who we are now.
Right.
So, but getting in touch with any of the negative and working that out of your system so you're not angry and you're not, upset with it and constantly thinking the lower vibration thoughts, like I'm not worthy. We are all worthy. Everyone is worthy, and we're all healers. We can all heal ourselves.
Yeah, I know a lot. I see Abraham popping up a lot. Abraham Hicks is they wrote a book. Esther and Jerry Hicks wrote a book, asking it shall be given, and in that book they talk about the emotional guidance scale. The emotional guidance scale is like the very low, the very high one would be like bliss, joy, gratitude, where you feel like really good. The low one would be, okay, you're in anger, you're in revenge, you're in those kind of places. And that's what you're talking about with the lower vibrations, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. And I do follow Abraham. I've been an Abraham follower for years, and totally believe the message, law of attraction. What you put out there, you're going to get back.
Yeah, that's really.
So I try to put as much positive out as I can.
I mean, it's really pretty. The stuff that she says when she channels the intelligence, it's really pretty basic. It's common sense. It's just feeling better. If you feel better, you're going to attract more good things to you.
Right.
That. But if you walk around saying, I'm depressed and things always bad happen to me, you just kind of attract more of that into your life as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And having that feeling of lack, no matter what it is, doesn't just mean money, lack of anything, love, whatever. And the more we say, oh, nobody loves me, I'm so broke, then the universe is going to say, oh, okay.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, there you go. You're broke. You're not loved. I mean, everybody's loved, but that's that feeling of not being loved.
Exactly.
So yeah, putting the positive out there, doing the affirmations every morning when I get up. I go in my bathroom, and on my bathroom mirror, I have written, "I am enough. I am loved. I am beautiful." And I say that every morning when I go in there and I look at myself.
You are beautiful, Teri. I appreciate you so much. I'm so grateful for just our connection, just a short period of time. I feel like I've known you for years now.
I know.
I am so grateful that I have had a chance to meet you. Now, if somebody wants to get an angel healing like I had, how to just go through your website then?
You can go to the website. There's a page on there called Shop. And they can actually go in and order a healing right there and schedule it. There's a schedule on there.
That's so cool. Thank you so much. And so then tonight, how can they find out your blog thing tonight? How can they get a hold of that?
Blog Talk Radio, and it's Angels. Blog Talk Radio, Angel Speakers. I sent you that with my contact information.
Okay, I will put that up there. I'll put that on my Facebook, and I'll put it in the description so if somebody wants. I'm definitely going to listen in this evening. And what time is it?
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay, all right. I can do that for sure. I'm still up at 7 o'clock Pacific.
Okay.
Okay, Teri, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming in here today. And I know we'll be talking. I thank everybody for coming here today. It's been just a tremendous blessing having you in here today. I really appreciate that. So I'll be listening into you this evening. For
Thank
sure.
you. And thank you to all who were in the chat room and listened in. I appreciate you.
And tomorrow, make sure tomorrow, every Thursday, every Friday, I have Jackson Kelly, who's here. I have him every Friday. He talks about, he's got a program called Friday Night Live. But every Thursday, I have the powerful, passionate, patient Princess of Prayer, Priscilla McMillan, the Reverend Priscilla McMillan. And when she speaks, if you ever get a chance to listen to her for a half an hour, when she just, I don't even ask her any questions. She just goes on. She just talks, and the hair on my arm stands up. That's how passionate she is about her faith. She's just coming straight from Jesus. But that's her, and she's just all about raising people up, about believing in themselves, becoming a better person. So Priscilla McMillan is an amazing person. If you get a chance to come in tomorrow, we'll check out Priscilla. And so again, thank you so much for coming in here, Teri. I really appreciate you, and I'll be talking to you real soon then.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.